Hi, welcome to Healing Talks with Kingdom Docs.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hussein Musa.
I'm Dr. Adatone Musa.
I'm a board-certified anesthesiologist, pain doctor, and addiction medicine specialist.
I'm a board-certified epileptologist and neurologist.
And on this Healing Talks, we're talking about fitness and health and how simple it is about diet and exercise, despite all of us knowing that the appropriate diet and exercise has a tremendous impact on our health. It can be hard to recognize it, or it can be hard to implement it.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, with any sort of stressful life event, your whole routine can be thrown off. And we're actually examples of that is, when we moved here from Manhattan to San Antonio, we had a totally different geographic location, culture. The food was different. And we were not walking as much from place to place. Instead of walking, we had cars because San Antonio is very spread out.
Yes, and very hot.
Very hot, but spread out. And so we had to really ascertain how to make just a new routine for our lives, which included health and fitness.
Yes, and that actually didn't happen until we made it a priority. And I think that's very important as patients, as people, is to be intentional about your fitness routine and your dietary habits. Now, for myself, once I realized that after about 30 pounds in 6 months, what I was doing was no longer working, even though I was still exercising about 3 times a week. That's what I did in New York. It wasn't getting me the results that I needed. And also I was starting to have other issues. I was starting to get some back pain, some leg cramps, more stomach aches, acid reflux, all the wonderful things that go with a heavy barbecue diet.
For sure. And nothing against barbecue.
Nothing against barbecues, especially brisket. Brisket, please forgive me. I'm sorry I spoke ill about you.
Yes. Or, vegetarian alternatives. You could have barbecue tofu, right? Barbecue in general is great.
We actually tried barbecue tofu, and you really have to know what to do with that tofu to make it taste right.
But anyway, back to the topic. As far as our balance, we had to really balance our diet, our physical activity. We were taking in more calories than we were burning. So what's one thing that you would mention? One is intentionality.
Yes, it's being intentional.
Yeah.
So I realized my current lifestyle wasn't getting me the results that I wanted. So I made a decision. I'm going to exercise more frequently. I'm going to change the intensity level. And I made that decision, but my mind was willing, but the body was weak. So soon enough, after I made that decision to work harder, I injured myself. And then I couldn't exercise at all.
So, back to what I always say, everything in moderation, right? And you can build up to a certain level of exercise. You don't have to go all in at once, right?
Yes, and I learned a valuable lesson, what everybody tends to know, but we don't really act upon it. We all say diet and exercise like it's equal. Now, I think that is based on the slope of age. As you're younger, you could exercise more and you could have a bad diet and it still works out. I think with each decade that passes, the value of your exercise decreases and the value of your diet increases.
I guess what you're trying to say is that it's so important to be intentional with your diet, to eat clean. That's kind of the lingo these days. So that means what exactly? Maybe reduce the amount of fats or saturated fats, increase the amount of plants in your diet, and then also continue to exercise as well.
Yes, and that intentionality, I believe one simple thing you can do is reduce the amount of processed foods you eat. If you're buying it at a gas station, just assume that it's processed, and that's most likely an impulse buy to eat because you're hungry. And unfortunately, if you don't plan your meals, you're going to get food when you see it.
We're all guilty of that. So we're going to talk about how to develop these good habits and intentional habits in the next episode of Healing Talks with Kingdom Docs.
Please visit us at kingdomdocs.com.
Bye-bye.
God bless.